Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live for these very cold, actually very cold, maybe it's the no hair, very cold Wednesday morning here in the land of Nicola. Really excited to chat with you today. And what I thought I would talk with you guys about is the answer. Hey, Carol. The answer to a question that I had come through yesterday. And if you guys have got questions, then please, by all means, make sure you send them on through, because you all know how much I love answering your stuff. I would much rather, it's all well and good for me to sit here and, ponder all the things that I think that you should hear and know. Hey, Linda. And it's quite another to, make it really relevant for you. So any questions that you've got, make sure you send them on through, and I would very, very much love to answer them for you. So one of the questions that happened yesterday, that came through yesterday morning, was from someone who is still in their job, and was really that the big message that they sent to me was that they're just kind of done with this like week to week stuff. And I guess like what it made me think about was what life was like for me before starting this business. And I've been doing this business for the last 10 years. I had a business before that I built up from nothing, taught myself how to build websites. I was importing jewelry. I was selling it all around the country and selling it at our local markets, and had a website and did the Facebook and did all of that kind of thing. And I guess like for me, that I always knew that I wanted more, right? I always knew that I wanted something different. And it made me, I guess like what was really interesting to reflect on yesterday was my parents have always had a business or a side hustle, or mum worked a few jobs. Like they were always looking for different ways to kind of like get ahead and create a really great experience for my brother and I. And made me think about how like where my drive kind of came from. And I think that there are some things that you're just born with. I think there are some things that are just really innate. And some of the stories that I tell in Into the Spotlight, actually, which should hopefully be in hand in the next couple of weeks, Into the Spotlight, one of the things that I always did as a kid is I always imagined myself as a rock star, as a singer, as someone who was on stage, either like a literal stage or on television. I remember we had this really big block of land, and I used to love going down to the back of the block. There was quite a number of trees, but there was this really big tree, and my dad built a tree swing on there, and used to be able to climb up on the tree, climb up into the trunk, get the stick and like sit on it, rope swing, and then launch up from there, and do these really big freeing swings. And I used to imagine that I was either a television presenter at the time. It was always like Perfect Match. I was like the host of Perfect Match, introducing the people and things like that, and still had Dexter as my trusty assistant, of course. And I used to pretend that I would do that, or I would be singing to the crops that our property overlooked, like the back over our back fence. Which was just like sheep fencing, so it wasn't like blocked off, but there was this big crop of, green stuff that they were growing. And I used to sing and perform to the crops. You'll be very surprised by this, I'm sure. But at the same time, I always knew that this was something that I really wanted to do, but I was also really, I was not confident in the way that I kind of view other people as being confident. I was certainly introverted. I would not, very rarely would I speak up in class. I would very rarely, unless I knew that the answer was correct, because I didn't want to be publicly shamed for having the wrong answer in class. That would just be devastating. And I wasn't one of the cool kids at school. So like I was in drama class, I played the violin, I, did all of this kind of like stuff, and loved loved year 12 business maths. It was the best thing ever. Loved it. Like how to balance a checkbook. Amazing fun. I used to think that was the best fun ever. Hey Jeanette, good morning. So I guess like for me, the thing for me was never how can I be on stage? You know, how can I be in front of people? How can I be entertaining people? That to me wasn't a logical kind of thing. So, you know, when people ask, you know, when did you start? Why are you doing this? This is not something that I, you know, thought of, right? It wasn't something that I was like, okay, I'm going to go out and be a marketing consultant. It's like, who does that? You know, this industry didn't exist, right? Obviously marketers existed, but this industry didn't exist. So it was just kind of like it almost happened by taking one step and then, you know, being presented with new information and then taking another step and then being presented with new information and then taking another step and so on and so forth. And, you know, here we are. I never dreamed in a million years that I would write a book or, you know, anything like that. It was just, it was interesting. So when I get asked, and I've been asked, it's a lot over the years, you know, where do you start? How do you start being an entrepreneur? The thing that I think most people try and do these days is you think, all right, well, I'm going to be a teacher, or I'm going to go and do this, or I'm going to go and do that. And like, but it doesn't always work out that way. So the thing that I'd always recommend, first of all, that you do is to come back. And this is important whether you're starting out in business, whether you're in a career and you're wanting to start a business, or if you're already in your business and you're thinking like, what the fuck am I going to do now? You know, we all have moments where we land at a crossroads of faith, where we land at a crossroads of, you know, what the heck am I doing? Where it becomes really, or it can become really hard and challenging to kind of find your path, you know, that next step forward. And so I think part of it for me is to come back and go, all right, well, if time, money, and energy and all of that stuff was not an issue, then what do I want to be doing? And, you know, I had this happen to me at the end of 2017 through a whole set of circumstances where I was like, okay, well, what is it that I actually really want to do? Do I want to keep doing this? If money is no object and if time is no object and I've got all of the energy in the world, what do I want to do? And it came back to, coaching, mentoring, helping people, you know, helping you see your potential. Like that's really the thing for me. It's like, how can I help you see your potential faster and in a way that you can then build a life around that in whichever way, shape or form you want to do that. So come back, like take all of those barriers out and just dream a little. And this will happen whether you're already in business, whether you need to pivot, whether you're starting out, it doesn't matter. What lights you up? And when you work out, when you can really see, all right, well, this is the thing that really lights me up, then it becomes a lot easier for you to build a strategy and a plan, or a plan and then a strategy around how you're going to make that happen, right? So that's the first thing. One of the things that you can also journal on, think about, ponder on, meditate on, dream, like whatever it is however it is that you access that, you know, that part of you. One of the best things that you can ask yourself is and consider is a question that I had presented to me in 2013, and I can't remember who it's actually called The Question, and I can't think of who wrote it, but the question is this: if you were to fast forward yourself 12 months into the future, and absolutely everything had worked out exactly as you wanted it to, what does that look like? You know, what are you doing? Who are you with? Who are you surrounded by? You know, what are you experiencing? How are you celebrating? Who are you working with? You know, let's assume that you have to work, or that you want to work, like retirement's off the cards here. You know, what are you doing? And then when you kind of got that, and you can put yourself in that place, it makes it a lot easier for you to kind of go, oh, well, in my opinion, it makes it a lot easier to go, all right, you know, come hell or high water, you know, this is really what I want to be doing. This is really how I want to feel. This is really who I want to be surrounded by. Then you can go, all right, so if that's a lay down misère, right? If that, achieving that, let's assume that is a foregone conclusion, then what's the next best step that I need to take right now? What's the first step? If I knew that was happening, what would I be doing now? Like, what would the aligned action be? It might be that you got to go and upskill, right? It might be going and doing a new course. It might be resigning from your job. It might be learning a new language or a new skill, meeting some new friends, immersing yourself in a different type of community that it empowers and supports you. Maybe it's about really deciding, well, you know what, these people are really great and these people really helped me to get to where it is that I am now, but actually, this is really where I need to be shifting to. Then maybe that's the next aligned step for you. And then the third thing that I always that is so crucial and important, and to me it's not negotiable, is if you want a different reality, if you want a different outcome to the one that you've consistently been getting right now, then you need to surround yourself with different people, right? Now, if you're on a stepping stone kind of pathway and the people that you've got around you are cheering you on and they are supportive and they're like, yes, babe, you've got this, you're so amazing, you can't, there's no way that this could possibly not work out for you, then that's awesome. But if you don't have people around you who are doing that, who are guiding you, supporting you, motivating you, pushing you, teaching you, and celebrating you, then you need some new people around you. And I'm not saying that you kind of like rip the rug out from the people who are around you right now, but if you want something different, then you probably need some different people. I remember when I took the leap out of leaving my job to doing this full time, I actually remember being on the phone to a girlfriend of mine, and I was making the decision to invest at that point in time, invest in a business coach. And I remember being at my kids' school, and I was walking along the side of one of the classrooms on the phone, and I was like, tell me about your business coach. I was really curious to understand how this friend of mine, what the business coaching looked like for her. And she was talking to me about it, and she said, I would never make a different decision. It was absolutely important, imperative, heaps of value, blah, blah, blah. And at that point in time, and 3 kids under the age of 8, I think, 8 or 9, I was, running myself ragged between all of these things. But her saying to me that was a really good decision for her. I had my husband who was like, wow, this sounds really good. You've got to learn how to make money somehow, because, this otherwise you're going to have to go back and get a job, Nick. I'm like, oh, shit. So there was that. And then there were my parents being really entrepreneurial. They were really encouraging and that's fine. And to me, in my mind, I was like, all right, well, what is the worst possible thing that could happen here? I was really lucky to be in that position with very, very supportive people around me, and really great friends, Joe Muirhead being one of them, actually. It was like without that group of people around me, I would probably have jumped back into work very, very quickly. I wouldn't have necessarily, I don't know, maybe I would have had the sticking power, who knows, but it's so fucking hard, right? It's just so hard to, I think, this running a business, building a business, growing a business is not fucking easy. Anybody who tells you that it is full of shit. There are some very simple things that you can do, but it is the biggest personal growth program that you could ever possibly go through. Because you've got to get out of your own way. You've got to not buy into your own bullshit. You've got to develop a higher than normal sense of self-belief, and that can be a really hard thing to do. So you've got to have the right people around you. So who are they? So as I said, with the, I guess, the 3 things to sum up from today, the 3 things, where to start, what to start, how to start, when to start, all of that kind of thing. The first thing is that you've got to work out, all right, what is it that you actually freaking want? Because the options are truly, the options are limitless. You could build a business creating jewelry if you want. You could become a coach. You could go in and upskill, cross-skill as a teacher. You could be a personal trainer. You could do you knit? Do you knit crochet? What do you do with crochet? Crochet is crochet, like, is that what they do? Are they crocheters? I don't know what I'm looking at a rug that's sitting on my couch over there. I'm like, maybe like knitters. You could be a knitter, a person who knits professionally. You could be a candle maker. You could be a computer programmer. You could be a graphic designer. I wonder how this will sit. You could be a crown maker. You know, you could do absolutely, that's kind of fun. You could be a photographer. You could do absolutely, that's going to fall off my head because there's nothing to hold it in there anymore. You could do absolutely anything. You know, your options really are limitless. So the best thing to do is to align to what it is that you really, really want. And then that will open up what the next steps are for you. And I think that what happens at this point is that we as humans are so driven by certainty that we want to know that next step is going to produce an outcome. We want to know what that outcome that is going to be produced. We want to know what that is, right? And this is not how it works. This is not how life works, right? You can't decide to go to the bar and go, all right, I'm going to meet the love of my life at this bar tonight, and then like roll in at the bar and then go, well, okay, you know, that's them over there. Like, you've got to take a bit of a leap of faith. You've got to have conversation. You've got to take that step. So like, you're not going to have any certainty at the start. So you've just got to align, first of all, to what you want, and then go, okay, well, what is that next step that I need to take? And please make sure that you've got the right kinds of people around you who are supporting you, who are encouraging you, who have absolutely got your back through thick and thin, through hell or high water. And you can't help but thrive and shine and step into the spotlight, so to speak. So yes, that is that for today. Peter, thanks Jeanette for your hugs. Peter, you are so rocking your new look. Your kindness and beauty within is radiating through. Oh, thank you. That's so kind. So my lots of foundation on today, and a very good Facebook filter. I appreciate it. Thank you. So if you've got any questions about marketing, about stepping into the spotlight, about anything at all, please make sure you send them through. As of course, I am, as I said at the start, super, super happy to answer them for you. You can find me on all of the social media platforms. Generally, Nicola Moras is the handle, or Nicola J. Moras on Facebook. You can email me, nicola@nicolamoras.com.au. You can find me on the internets all over the place. Meanwhile, what I very, very strongly encourage you to do is to get out there, go help some people, have a whole ton of fun doing it, and remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness, no matter which way, shape, or form that happens for you today. Mwah! I love you. You're amazing. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.